lovers, how are you guys doing today? So this video is going to be super exciting. I'm going to be doing a Juvia's Place versus Natasha Denona type of smackdown. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to be doing eyes. So I'm going to do the Saharan 2 palette versus the Natasha Denona Aeries palette. Just looks like this, so very similar colors in here. And then I'm also going to be doing my face just a little bit. On one side I'm going to be using the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette, and then on the other side I'm going to be doing the Natasha Denona Diamond and Glow palette. So I want you guys to stop real quick, pause the video, and let me know which side of my face do you think is Natasha Denona and which side do you think is Juvia's Place. I love to hear if you guys are right or wrong, so if you want to see the demo and who I think is better and if I think they're dupes or not, then just keep watching. I'm not fancy enough to do different brushes for each eye, but I will definitely wipe off in between and make sure that I'm not getting like one side onto the other or anything like that. There won't be any cross contamination happening here. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do Juvia's Place on this side, and then I will do Natasha Denona on this side. So if you guessed in the beginning, even though I feel like this is probably gonna be an obvious one to guess at, that's the side that they're both on. I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with a nice big fluffy brush, and I'm going to take this orange shade in the Juvia's Place palette, and I'm going to take the only matte shade in the Natasha Denona palette, this one right here, and I'm just gonna buff that into the crease. So one thing about Juvia's Place, you guys can probably see, hopefully, that there is some definite kickback when you put your brush in the mattes. So I'm going to get most of the color off the brush, and then I'm going to slowly blend upwards, kind of blow out the edges. Since this is the only matte shade that we're using, we're going to kind of use it as a crease shade and as a transition, which you can do for any shadow that you have. You just have to go really light as you go upwards and then apply more into the crease. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more of that into the crease and the outer V and inner corner. And then again, going lighter motions as we blend upwards. If that does get a little too high, I will go in with a matte skin tone shade for me and just blend underneath, because I do that every once in a while because I am like notorious for bringing my eyeshadow up to my brow bone. So I'm just going to wipe off any excess product on that brush and then go into Natasha Denona. So I tapped equally as hard in the Natasha Denona, and there's a little tiny bit of kickback, but barely anything at all. I do feel like the Natasha Denona is blending out a little faster. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dip back in and kind of build up the crease a little bit more. Okay, so obviously colors are not exact matches. This one's a little bit more orange and this one's a little bit more red. So before we go on, just because these palettes are kind of smaller, we are missing that really essential matte skin tone shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one from the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm just going to very lightly put this underneath my brow bone and just use that to kind of blend out. So I just took whatever was left on that brush and kind of blended back over Just making sure everything looks okay. Again, wiping off any excess color. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this cranberry shade right here in the middle from Juvia's, and then I'm going to take obviously the red shade from Natasha. These are both metallic reds, but they're not quite the same. And I'm going to take this on the outer V and then the inner V as well. Pretty and sparkly. This isn't a shade I would typically use for this, but since we just want to stay in these two palettes, and this is all I've got in the Natasha Denona palette, then I'm just gonna make it work and connecting in the middle. I'll wipe off the excess. This Place shade works a little better for this because it's a little bit more metallic as opposed to like glitter. Okay, definitely getting some fallout from this shade. Back to that blending brush, and I last used it on this eye, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out the edges of that. Getting rid of the excess. If you are over the age of 21, take a shot every time I say getting rid of the excess. That'll make this a really fun video for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out now. So originally I wanted to put the blue on the lid because I thought that they were going to be similar, but they're really not. So I think I'm going to do blue on the lower lash line where it's not quite as obvious, and I'm going to go in with the like rose goldish shades on the lid. I'm going to use this to pack the eyeshadow on the lid, and then I would probably end up going in with my finger on both sides because that's just the easiest thing to do. And I feel like both of these formulas work really, really well with your finger. So the shade that I decided is closest in rose gold form is going to be this one. I'm just going to pick up some product. Again, kind of a little bit of kick up. Tap off the excess. And I'm just going to put that on the center of the lid. Okay, going to go ahead and flip that around to the other side. And going in with this shade right here from Juvia's Place. This one, again, has glitter as opposed to just being like straight up metallic. And it does have kick up too. It is a softer type of formula. Yeah, definitely this shade in particular is a little more sheer, but it has like glitter all throughout it. That's definitely something I'm probably gonna have to pack on with my finger because yeah, it's just very glittery. It's not really applying to the eyelid the same. I mean, these two are different formulas, they're just similar colors. So the glitter is really pretty, but it's not quite giving me the punch I need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with my trusty little stained finger, pick up some product. Oh, that is so beautiful. It's like glitter, but the background is sheer. So I've got glitter like literally everywhere. So much fallout from that particular shade. Okay. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take a different, oh actually I think I'll take this one so I don't flip you guys off. Another trusty stained finger. Just do the same thing. At this point, the fallout level is pretty crazy on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my face and I'll be right back, and then we can do the lower lash line together. But I just thought of this idea. I'm doing Natasha Denona versus Juvia's Place. Obviously, you've been watching the video. And I thought, you know what? I have a blush palette from both. Blush and a little highlight. So I'm like, I should just go ahead and do my cheeks with these. So that is my idea. I'm gonna go ahead, and the blush shades aren't that close. I'm gonna take the pink shade here as my blush, and then I'm gonna take this highlight shade here, which the highlighters are actually kind of close. They're both like this pinky gold duochrome type shade, which the one in the Natasha Denona palette I think is just a touch darker, and it's supposed to be a blush, but also I think it's a highlight topper or something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and try that as highlighter. I haven't used it more sheer. Originally I thought it was a cream, but it's actually a powder, even though it's with the other creams. It's all a weird thing. And then I'm gonna take this blush shade. Blush in Natasha is glowy, and the one in Juvia's is matte. but it doesn't even look that glowy on the skin by itself. I'm just going to go ahead and take my highlighter brush and dip into the duochrome highlighter shade. Oh girl, it's a little pink. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off any excess blush. Wipe off any excess highlighter. Wipe off, take a shot. So pigmented. Okay. So I officially look like a clown. So obviously the Juvia's Place blush is a little bit more pigmented, but I feel like tone-wise they don't even look that different. I should probably just have gone in with a lighter hand. Take that highlighter. Highlight blush type topper. Ooh, that one's really pink too, which is not necessarily a good thing for me, but that just means that they like... Is it just me or do these look super similar? I know I have clown cheeks right now. Please don't judge me. So what I'm gonna do, my last little trick, is I take my foundation sponge and I just kind of lightly go over the cheek. So there's Natasha Denona blush palette and Juvia's Place blush palette. Those are the only two shades that are really similar, because the Natasha one has really pretty other highlights that are better suited for my skin tone, and the rest of the Juvia's is more just blushes that are pretty dark for me. But I mean, if you really like that highlight shade from the Natasha Denona palette, looks super similar. I'll be back again in a few more minutes. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the matte orange shade that we used first, and I'm just going to put that along the lower lash line real quick. Natasha Denona stayed a little bit more pigmented, like it's a very stronger color, so I'm just going to wipe off the excess again and go back to the other eye and add just a touch more of Juvia's Place. So before I go in with the color, I'm just going to run some blue eyeliner along my lower lash line just for the heck of it. It was actually super pretty. City Color sent me like some of their eyeliners forever ago, and I never have used them. Like, I haven't used this once. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? I forgot about them. But this is the shade Lagoon. Super pretty. And take a tiny little packer brush and go in. I decided I'm going to go in with the darker blue on this palette, because I feel like that one's just a little bit closer, but they're pretty far off from each other. I have a color switch too, you guys. I do not know where it is right now. It probably would have been helpful for this video. Natasha Denona's has a little bit more glitter in it, but on the lower lash line like this, they don't even look that different. I'm nervous about this because these colors really are not very similar at all, but they're both the lightest highlight shades in the palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this light taupey type shade here, and I'm just going to kind of put it on the inner corner, but not totally. Just like that little part right here. Like I said, these two colors are the ones that are definitely not similar at all. I'm just gonna take that white shade right there. It looks white, but it's kind of like a yellow gold duochrome. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. I am honestly shocked right now at how similar the overall look is. I can definitely sit here and nitpick at like the little differences in tone, the little differences in formula, but they're super similar. Honestly, I can't believe it. And my cheeks, I feel like my cheeks look like I'm wearing the same thing on both sides. I will say that the one thing that Natasha Denona does have over Juvia's Place is a couple different formulas. So for example, in pretty much all Juvia's Place palettes, there are metallics and then there are mattes, and that's basically what they've got going on. Whereas when you look at the Natasha Denona, 3 of these shades have glitter in them, and you do get a little bit of glitter fallout, but you can definitely see like the difference up close on my lower lash line, with the blue having that really pretty specks of gold glitter through it, and then this not. And then like my lid here has really pretty gold glitter, and this is just metallic, which they're both beautiful. And honestly, you could slap a liquid eyeshadow on like one of these This is the JCat holographic eye toppers. These just have like a sheer amount of glitter in them. You could throw that on top and it would basically look the same thing. So I'm not justifying the price or anything like that, but that is one difference that I see, is that you do get really pretty glitter in Natasha Denona eyeshadows, and that's just a difference I've noted. I mean, that can kind of go either way. If you love glitter, then hey, that's like awesome for you. If you don't like glitter, then like, I mean, save the money, you know. So I think that this little Juvia's Place versus Natasha Denona has definitely been a learning experience for me. In the future, I will definitely go through all of my Juvia's Place palettes before I buy anything from her. Like if she releases anything new, I'm definitely going to go through my Juvia's Place and just make sure that it's not colors I already have, at least from Juvia's Place, because they do apply so similarly, and Juvia's Place is literally so inexpensive compared to Natasha Denona. The other little difference I did want to mention is that I will say that Natasha Denona mattes, when you swatch them, are a little bit softer than the mattes from Juvia's Place, but they apply the same, so who cares how they swatch? Like, that's not really important. That's just to see the color. So that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.